This is a quick spoiler warning, so if you haven't finished Skyrim, then most of this video will ruin some of the best parts of the game. So there you go. Ooh, whatto chaps, I am Magical Mike, and you can follow me on the Twitterverse at YTMagicalMike, although I wouldn't recommend it. This is part number 2 of the series where I talk about my particular best parts of Skyrim, and we're going to move on to number 4 in the list, meeting the Greybeards. Now this one's still fairly low on the countdown, but it still ranks as one of the best things in the game. In the scheme of things, the whole story of the Greybeards and their involvement in Skyrim is easily one of the most interesting things for me, and just seeing how it all panned out was really, really good, and of course it helped that they were so into the story. One of the first times we even hear about the Greybeards is from a giddy guard that just realised that you're a Dragonborn, but upon walking back to Whiterun, you actually hear this. Doesn't that just send some shivers down your spine? It did for me the first time. It reminds me of why it's rewarding to not fast travel absolutely everywhere in the game. The first time I even heard that noise, I had no idea what it was. I actually thought it was thunder, because at the time it was raining. So when you get back to Whiterun, you speak to the Jarl, because that's part of your quest, and you quickly find out that that was actually one of the voices of the Greybeards summoning you to High Hrothgar. So off you pop to High Hrothgar, and you find out that there's a pilgrimage that begins at Iverstead, or Iverstead, however you want to pronounce that. These Skyrim names are all sorts of mental for me. So the pilgrimage up the 7,000 steps is still rewarding, if you ask me. I've played the game 4 or 5 times now, and I still always walk up there and really, really enjoy every single step. I haven't counted them though. Maybe there aren't 7,000. Hey, there you go, there's a challenge for you. People say it's more about the journey than the destination, and in this case it still rings true. The walk up those steps is pretty immersive, and the first time I encountered that troll really made me worried about how I'd actually beat it. Those things were actually harder than dragons back then, if you can remember that. Of course, as you're walking up the mountain you see the plaques on the story of the Way of the Voice, and I think that was a nice touch to add that in there. But the main part that makes it on my list is actually meeting the Greybeards themselves.
So, a Dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age.
Arngeir, voiced, see what I did there, by Christopher Plummer, gives a convincing performance, which gives off an air of wisdom beyond any other character in Skyrim, apart from one. The Greybeards teach you some words of power, and they send you off to prove yourself. It all feels pretty epic, quite honestly. Later, they announce and recognise you as the Dovahkiin by shouting a ritual at you. And after that, they whisper greetings to you, which actually shakes the entire temple, the entire mountain around them.
Dovahkiin.
And it just proves how powerful their voice actually is. Of course though, the final stage of their involvement in the story has them teaching you the Clear Skies shout, and sending you to see their leader, Paarthurnax, on the throat of the world. The walk to the top, shouting regularly to clear the mist and the views off the side of the mountain.
Look!
Oh, you really have to do this yourself if you want to understand how great this part of the game is. It really, really immersed me the first time I did this. I don't think many people actually expected to meet a dragon at the top. I think few people expected him to play such a strong part in teaching the player, and my favourite part is easily this line.
Who are you? What brings you to my Strunmach, my mountain?
So awesome. So that's 2 down and 3 to go. Stay tuned to the channel and these videos if you actually want to see the rest of my picks, and if you don't then bugger off, I suppose. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at YTMagicalMike for generic rubbish, and I hope you enjoyed this part, and I will see you next time. Cheerio.